Hello everybody and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. We have a letter here. Patient observations, vain hope, someone better at this than me takes over before the survivor expires. Note in case, day 1. Clammy, shallow breathing, pulse over fast, not responsive, pupils dilated. Mate says his scarring mark is thrumming with unknown magic. Wish we could station a Templar in here just in case. Oh, they fear me, don't they? Oh yeah, didn't we receive some equipment as well? Weapons. 48. Longsword of the Dragon. Equip. Shield of the Dragon. Equip. That's pretty sick. Armor. Other armor. Stone bear armor. Oh, it looks like a tank. That's pretty sick, but not what I'm wearing. No, heavy armor of the dragon. How about the helmet? These are the only helmets we got. Templar helmet is pretty cool, but I don't want it. Fire resistance cowl. I can't get that. Accessories. Life ward. Equip that. Upgrades. Crafting. Okay, that's pretty cool. We'll go with that. Might as well, we got it. Right, open this. Okay, hello everybody.
That's him. That's the Herald of Andraste. They said when he came out of the Fade, Andraste herself was watching over him.
Hush. We shouldn't disturb him.
Alright everybody. Nice to see you all. Everybody's greeting me.
That's him. He stopped the breach from getting any bigger.
I heard he was supposed to close it entirely. Still, it's more than anyone else has done. Demons would have had us otherwise. Still a lot of rifts left all over.
What's in here?
Little cracks in the sky.
Oh, let's read this. Patient observation day 3. Less thrashing, some response to stimulus. Vitals seem solid. 2 attempts so far by locals to break into the chantry to kill my patient. All this work to save his life, and will they just execute him? Will inform Lady Cassandra I expect him to wait before the morn. So people were trying to kill him.
Walk safely, Herald of Andraste.
Oh, jerks. We saved all of you people.
Good luck sealing those rifts.
People are probably scared though, aren't they, as well? What's this? Singing Maiden. Have you ever heard the story of King Bedwyr? Bedwyr, like most kings, was a man of great pride who expected nothing but complete loyalty from his subjects. He believed the best way to achieve this was through fear. After all, those who feared him would never cross him or question his rule. Most importantly, those who feared him would always seek to please him. Bedwyr cultivated terror in his subordinates through the gleeful and unrestrained use of a contraption referred to as the Maiden. The Maiden was a hinged iron casket as high and wide and deep as a man with vicious spikes within, meant to pierce through the poor soul locked into it. Bedwyr's Maiden was a prized possession, stood in a place of honour in his throne room, often with a screaming victim inside it. Political rivals suspected assassins, treasonous ministers, the Maiden consumed them all. But as time passed, more people were given to the Maiden for increasingly trivial offences. The cook for oversalting the king's food, the page boy for dropping his sword. The Maiden cast a pall over the kingdom, and its people prayed for deliverance from their cruel king. Then one day, a strange woman rode into the city. She called herself Ember, and was an emissary from a far-off land. Her leaders had heard, she said, of Bedwyr's wisdom and authority, and she sought the king's counsel. The thought that he had earned the adulation of brother kings across the sea made Bedwyr swell with pride, and he granted Ember an audience. They dined and danced, and through it all Ember flattered and fawned on the king. At the end of the night, Ember asked to see the Maiden, the infamous device that had given Bedwyr all his power. The king, giddy with praise, proudly presented Ember with the empty contraption. Ember looked at the Maiden, sighed with disappointment, and said, "That does not look terrifying at all. I should have imagined the spikes to be much sharper." Bedwyr grew red at her comment and replied, "The spikes are sharp enough. Look at the blood that still clings to them." "But it is so small," said Ember. "Are only children and women its victims?" Bedwyr grew redder still and replied, "Of course not, the maiden has devoured many men." Amber shook her head and said to the king, "I do not believe it. Surely no warrior could fear this thing. A man like yourself, tall and muscled, would not fit within." King laughed and saw a way to prove the merit of the maiden to Ember. "I will show you how easily a man like myself could fit," he said, and with that he stepped into the device, but Ember was waiting. No sooner had Bedwyr squeezed himself into the iron casket that Ember slammed it shut on him. Ember took the maiden with the screaming Bedwyr inside, through the castle and down into the city, and the people, finally free from the king's tyranny, cheered and danced to the singing that echoed through the streets until Bedwyr was dead, and it finally stopped. A tale often told in the Singing Maiden Tavern. King deserved it, didn't he? Power went to his head. Shouldn't be torturing people. Shouldn't be torturing his subjects. Is there anything around here? Might as well look around and see what lore and loot we can get. The Ranger Dowager Quarterly, a well-worn quarterly missive of suspect virtue. The Randy Dowager welcomes the cool of autumn with the fall of another. The collected dreams of desire, being the confessions of an apprentice and training more furrowing than harrowing. Forbidden dalliances at their most spirited. The Randy Dowager exhibitions for the noble of thought, but spry of step. The lady herself says enchanting one supports the circles, if only because closed doors offer the imagination more. 3 scarves fluttered in shock out of 5. RD. Who's RD? Patient observations day 2, pulse normal, breathing normal, still unresponsive, careful drop feed or prep, elf root extract to hasten his recovery. A lot of thrashing, mutters about too many eyes, something about the grey. Encouraging. Take all that because I could use it. Oh, someone to talk to, hello.
I believe Lady Cassandra wanted to speak with you.
Alright, so I can't speak to you yet. I'll speak to Lady Cassandra in a bit. Oh, more loot. I wonder if there's any more lore in here. Nothing in here. Okay. That's where I've got to go into, but there's this little camp here we can also go and have a look at. If we can find any lore and loot around here. As for the codex, I'm going to probably read that maybe in the next video.
Not taking orders right now. Got a problem with it? Bring it up with Cassandra.
I never said anything about orders. I wasn't going to give you one. I want to talk.
Chancellor Roderick says that the Chantry wants nothing to do with us.
That isn't Chancellor Roderick's decision, sister.
Screw them. I'm here now. I will help all of you. Ooh, something to read. A chant for the departed. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next. For she who trusts in the Maker fires her water. As the moth sees light and goes toward flame, she should see fire and go towards the light. The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her sword. Transfigurations 10:1, often sung by the mourners as they light candles. Oh my god. Have I just missed another door? Oh, more things to read. The Fade. The study of the Fade is as old as humankind. For so long as men have dreamed, we have walked its twisting paths, sometimes catching a glimpse of the city at its heart, always as close as our own thoughts, but impossibly separated from our world. The Tevinter Imperium once spent vast fortunes of gold, lyrium, and human slaves in an effort to map the terrain of the Fade, an ultimately futile endeavour, although portions of it belong to powerful spirits. All of the Fade is in constant flux. The Imperium succeeded in finding the disparate and ever-shifting realms of a dozen demon lords, as well as cataloguing a few hundred types of spirits before they were forced to abandon the project. The relationship of dreamers to the Fade is complex. Even when entering the Fade through the use of lyrium, mortals are not able to control or affect it. The spirits who dwell there, however, can, and as the Chantry teaches us, the great flaw of the spirits is that they have neither imagination nor ambition. They create what they see through their sleeping visitors, building elaborate copies of our cities, people and events, which, like the reflections in a mirror, ultimately lack context or life of their own. Even the most powerful demons merely plagiarize the worst thoughts and fears of mortals, and build their realms with no other ambition than to taste life. From Tranquility and the Role of Fade in Human Culture by First Enchanter Josephus. Brilliant. I love the lore on this game. What's over this side? Any more lore? It's nice to rediscover this world. Someone's gone completely mad. Oh, we're going down here and exploring. Oh, more things to read. Chantry Hierarchy. The Divine is the title ahead of the Chantry, although since the schism split the Imperial Chantry into its own faction, there are now in fact two Divines at any one time. One Divine, informally called the White Divine, is a woman housed in the Grand Cathedral in Valroyo. The other, known as the Black Divine, is a man housed in the Argan Spire in Minrathos. Neither divine recognise the existence of the other, and the informal names are considered sacrilegious. No matter the gender, a divine is addressed as Most Holy or Your Perfection. Beneath the rank of divine is the Grand Cleric. Each Grand Cleric presides over numerous chantries and represents the highest religious authority for their religion. They travel to Valroyo when the College of Clerics convenes, but otherwise... A College of Clerics convenes, but otherwise remain where they are assigned. All Grand Clerics are addressed as Your Grace. Beneath the Grand Cleric is the Mother, or in the Imperial Chantry, the Father. If a Mother is in charge of a particular chantry, revered is appended to her title. These are the priests responsible for administering to the spiritual well-being of their flock. A Mother or Revered Mother is addressed as Your Reverence. Brothers and sisters form rank and file of the Chantry and consist of three main groups: Affirmed, Initiates and Clerics. Affirmed are the lay brethren of the Chantry, those regular folk who have turned to the Chantry for succour. Often they are people who have led a difficult or irreligious life and have chosen to go into seclusion, or even orphans and similar unfortunates who were raised into Chantry life. The Affirmed take care of the Chantry and are in turn afforded a life of quiet contemplation, no questions asked. Only those folk who take vows become initiates. These are men and women in training, whether in academic knowledge or the martial skills of a warrior. All initiates receive an academic education, although only those who seek to become Templars learn how to fight in addition. Clerics are the true academics of the Chantry, those men and women who have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge. They are often found in Chantry archives, sages presiding over libraries of books and arcane knowledge. The most senior of these clerics, placed in charge of such archives, are given the title Elder. Although such a rank is still beneath that of Mother, all other brothers and sisters are addressed simply by noting their title before their name, such as Brother Genetivi, from the Guide for Ambassadors from Rivian. So that's just all the different levels. Loot. Founding of the Chantry. Cordillus Draken, king of the city-state of Aulus, was a man of uncommon ambition. In the year 15 Ancient, the young king began construction of a great temple dedicated to the Maker, and declared that by its completion he would not only have united the warring city-states of the south, he would have brought Adrastian belief to the world. In -3 Ancient, the temple was completed there. In its heart, Draken knelt before the eternal flame of Andraste and was crowned ruler of the empire of Orlais. His first act as emperor to declare the Chantry as the established Adrastian religion of the empire. It took 3 years and several hundred votes before Alessa of Montesimard was elected to lead the new Chantry. Upon her coronation as divine, she took the name Justinia, in honour of the disciple who recorded Andraste's songs. In that moment, the ancient era ended and the divine age began. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Pentry Chantry Scholar. I need to be a rogue to open these doors. Okay. I haven't got a rogue with me at the moment. There's somebody else. I can't open any of these. Maybe when I've got a companion with me, we'll come back. It'll probably just be like loot in there. I don't think there'll be any lore. Be nice if there is like a prisoner or something that wrote a couple of notes or something that we can read, just to see what they went through. I'm surprised we weren't put down there as a prisoner. So we're going this way now. We've got 3 doors. We'll go this one first. No loot, but we have got some lore. The Maker. There was no word for heaven or for earth, for sea or sky. All that existed was silence. Then the voice of the Maker rang out the first word, and his word became all that might be, dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. And from it made his firstborn, and he said to them, in my image I forge you, to you I give dominion over all that exists. By your will may all things be done. And in the centre of heaven he called forth a city with towers of gold, streets with music for cobblestones, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne, and sang hymns of praise unending. But their songs were the songs of the cobblestones. They shone with the golden light reflected from the Maker's throne. They held forth the banners that flew on their own. And the voice of the Maker shook the fade, saying, in my image I have wrought my firstborn. You have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done, yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever-changing. And he knew he had wrought amiss, so the Maker turned from his firstborn, and took from the fade a measure of its living flesh, and placed it apart from the spirit, and spoke to it, saying, here I decree opposition in all things, for earth, sky, for winter, summer, for darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered, and the world given new life, and no longer was it formless, ever-changing, and held fast, immutable, with words for heaven and for earth, sea and sky. At last did the Maker from the living world make men immutable as the substance of the earth, with souls made of dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, to you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the fade I crafted you, and to the fade you shall return each night in dreams, that you may always remember me. And then the Maker sealed the gates of the golden city, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. Canticle of Phrenodis 5:1-8. Interesting.
I believe Seeker Pentagast was looking for you.
Oh, I don't care.
We will study that.
Okay, so that's what I got turning research. I haven't actually got any, have I? Can't open that. But there is something to read. The children of Andraste. There are many misconceptions regarding Andraste's bloodline. Unsure, this is... Oh, leveled up. This is due, I should think, to a general lack of knowledge regarding Andraste's mortal life. Understandable considering the many cults that arose following her death. Everyone sought to claim Our Lady for their own culture, or claimed some aspect of her existence was a lie. All of them complete fabrications. My order has done considerable research to ascertain the truth. We all know Andraste and the betrayer raised 5 children. The eldest 3 were sons, Izorath, Evrion and Verold. The rule of what was once southern Tevinter was split among them. Izorath was given the west, what is today Orleans. Evrion was given the east, what is today the Free Marches. Verold was given the central Planasane, what is today Navarra. What became of these men and their legacies is the stuff of legend, and the majority of claimants to Andraste's bloodline link back to one of them. None of the 3 sons, however, were born of Andraste. They were born of the betrayer's concubine, Gillivan. People choose to overlook the fact that Andraste came from the Alamari tribesmen, and that they were barbarians. Not the Fereldans we know today. They were savage warriors who took concubines in addition to their wives. Because Andraste was thought to be too weak to bear children, the betrayer took Gillivan to provide him her heirs, which she did. After her death, the sons were raised as Andraste's own. Later in life, Andraste proved predictions wrong and had 2 daughters by the betrayer, Ebris and Vivial. They were kept out of the public eye and not permitted to marry. Though both had consorts, Ebris had but one child, Alivemor, who perished on a voyage to Denerim. Less than a month after her mother fell to plague, and without children of her own, the younger daughter Vivial was more controversial. A strong-headed woman who defied her family by falling in love with a mage of Tevinter, Regulon. Vivial and Regulon went into self-imposed exile as the exalted march began and into hiding following Andraste's betrayal and murder. What became of Vivial and her descendants is largely unknown for one primary reason. She had only daughters. Each of those daughters only had daughters. They married into other families and took other names, and in the chaos of the Second Blight, all traces of survivors were lost. Andraste's true bloodline, if it exists, lies solely in the descendants of Vivial, and the suspicion of my order is that it produces only daughters. Thus the claims of your young man, Monsieur, are highly suspect. From a letter by Giusta Delina of the Augustan Order, Dragon 912. Cool. Maybe we'll meet a descendant.
Chain him! I want him prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that and leave us.
You walk a dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
You want my help again? I'm still a suspect.
So I'm still a suspect, even after what we just did?
You absolutely are.
No, he is not.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect?
Yeah.
You, and many others.
But not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to him for help.
So his survival, that thing on his hand, all a coincidence.
Providence. The Maker sent him to us in our darkest hour.
Are you serious?
5 minutes ago, you wanted me dead, and now I'm your savior.
I was wrong. Perhaps I still am. I will not, however, pretend you were not exactly what we needed when we needed it.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn. We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order, with or without your approval.
Yeah, go on, clear off, you jerk.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
Investigate, yeah. You went to Holy War? Inquisition of old first.
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way. We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
What about the Chantry?
But aren't you still part of the Chantry?
Is that what you see?
The Chantry will take time to find a new Divine. And then it will wait for her direction.
But we cannot wait. So many Grand Clerics died at the Conclave. No, we are on our own. Perhaps forever.
Okay. You want a Holy War?
You're trying to start a holy war.
We are already at war. You are already involved. Its mark is upon you. As to whether the war is holy, That depends on what we discover.
What if I refuse?
You can go if you wish.
You should know that while some believe you chosen, many still think you guilty. The Inquisition can only protect you if you are with us.
We can also help you.
It will not be easy if you stay. But you cannot pretend this has not changed you.
Yeah, we are going to help, obviously.
If you're truly trying to restore order,
That is the plan.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
And there we go. Report to Haven's Chantry. Speak with the smith, speak with the quartermaster, speak with the apothecary. So we've got to speak to everybody. I'm going to go around and see if I can spot how many people I can speak to. Speak to you.
No, my lord, I don't know where the other nobles are. I suggest you ask Ambassador Montillier. Oh, you're him.
Sorry.
Thread. Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
Let's investigate. What's your job?
what do you do here?
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies and iron in their hands. Both are important. Lots of people expecting us to be heroes, marching all day to fight the demons. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
How did you end up here?
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under Ten Loghain MacTier, best commanding officer this world has ever seen. After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion. Queen Honora offered my services to the Inquisition. It was a kindness. She knew I supported her father and got me away from the political garbage.
Your loyalty to the man you served is admirable, quartermaster.
Thank you. A lot of people seem to think they know what happened at Ostagar, but I was there. Ten Loghain never betrayed his king. If he'd brought the reinforcements, Darkspawn would have just killed everyone. He did what he had to do to save our country, and we betrayed him. I apologize. Sister Liliana told me I shouldn't talk about this. Just forget it.
Okay.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site. Maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
Okay.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
Why's my armour changed? So I need more iron. Okay, that's fine. Inspect. Inquisition weapons. Why has my... I don't understand why my weapons... My armour's changed. Has everything changed? No, it hasn't. That hasn't. That's fine. Armour has. I had heavy armour of the dragon. I don't understand why it switched me to... Was it? I don't know why it switched... What do I even have on then? Random armour. Okay, I've got to go there in a bit. Let's go and speak to some more people around here. There's gonna be somebody else to talk to. What are they doing? Anybody in here to talk to? No one? Loot. Topaz, okay.
One life, one death. There is but one God, and he is our maker.
Hey, one of our friends.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
It's not so bad. I'm taking it in stride.
Better than most of us, then. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
Why did you stay?
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
I'm still not sure I believe that any of this is really happening.
If this is all just the Maker winding us up, I hope there's a damn good punchline coming. You might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this is going. Heroes are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky, that's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle.
Yeah, we are, definitely. We'll do what we can, though. Anybody in here? Oh, it's a tavern.
Can I get you anything?
What can you tell me about this area?
Adan is Haven's apothecary. He's been making potions and tending to the wounded as best he can. Harris is the Inquisition's smith. Whatever he can make you, Thren the quartermaster can probably find. And for anything fancier, you can try buying from Segrit. His prices aren't too high. Yet. Oh, there's also Minave. She studies beasts and things, as I understand.
Okay.
Farewell.
Farewell. Oh, something to read. Tale of the Frostbacks. Even mountains had a heart once. When the world was young, Corf the Mountain Father kept his throne at the peak of Balanas, the mountain at the centre of the world from which he could see all the corners of earth and sky. And he saw strong men become weak, brave men grow cowardly, and wise men turn foolish for love. Corf devised a plan that he might never be betrayed by his own heart, by taking it out and hiding it where no soul would ever dare search for it. He sealed it inside a golden cask, buried it in the earth, and raised around it the fiercest mountain the world had ever seen, the Frostbacks to guard it. But without his heart, the Mountain Father grew cruel. His chest was filled with bitter mountain winds that shrieked and howled like lost souls. Food lost its flavour, music had no sweetness, and he lost all joy in deeds of valour. He sent avalanches and earthquakes to torment the tribes of men. Gods and men rose against him, calling him a tyrant. But with no heart, Corf could not be slain. Soon there were no heroes left, either among men or gods, who would dare challenge Corf. The Lady of the Skies sent the best of her children, the swiftest, the cleverest, and the strongest flyers to scour the mountains for the missing heart. And for a year and a day they searched, but Sparrow and Raven, Vulture and Eagle, Swift and Albatross returned to her with nothing. Then the Partamegan spoke up and offered to find the God Chief's heart. The other birds laughed. The Partamegan, I can't even say that, ptarmigan I'm going to call it, is a tiny bird, too humble to soar, which spends half its time hopping around the ground. The lady would not give the little creature her blessing, for the mountains were too fierce even for eagles, but the ptarmigan set out anyway. The little bird travelled deep into the frostbacks when she could not fly. She crawled, she hugged the ground and weathered the worst mountain winds, and so made her lonely way to the valley where the heart beat. With all the gods' terrible deeds, the heart was far too heavy for the tiny bird to carry. So she rolled it, little by little, out of the valley and down a cliff, and when the golden cask struck the earth, it shattered. The heart was full almost to bursting, and the pain of it roused the mountain god to come see what had happened. When Corf neared his heart, it leapt back into his chest, and he was whole again. Then Hakon Winter's breath bound Corf's chest with 3 bands of iron and 3 bands of ice, so he could never again escape. And all the remaining gods named the ptarmigan honoured above even the loftiest eagles. Ptarmigan and Ava Tale from Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Petrine Chantry. Oh, cool. Some more lore. Someone to talk to around here as well. Do. Solos.
The chosen of Andraste, a blessed hero sent to save us all.
I've no interest in being a hero. All I want is to find a way to seal this breach.
Pragmatic, but ultimately irrelevant. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars, both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
What do you mean, ruins and battlefield?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins. Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I imagine you find some amazing things in there, alongside all the demons.
Exactly. It is occasionally dangerous, yes. But more often it's just sad to see what has been lost. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay then. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by Chantry forces in the middle of a mage rebellion. Cassandra has been accommodated, but you understand my caution.
The giant hole in the sky trumps any other concerns. We can worry about the rest later.
Yes. Who can say what this world will look like when we are done fighting for it? But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach.
Apothecary found receipts for exploration or by visiting merchants. Visiting an apothecary with herbs you gather in the wilderness to upgrade potions. Use the equip station to assign different potions to each of your party members to replenish the potions you are carrying. Use the upgrade station to unlock permanent upgrades to your potions. It's another really useful place.
If you're not using them later, Segrit is willing to pay.
Look who's back from the dead. Again.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making knows where, though. So, you're welcome.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you can pay me back by fixing the world. Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs.
It's a fair enough price.
Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
Let's investigate first.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time and talents. But there are a few around who can help.
Okay.
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too.
Really cool. So we've got 8 of them, that's fine.
Perhaps another time.
Upgrade potions. I can even get grenades, that's cool. Healing. Can upgrade it. Increase healing. I haven't got enough stuff, I need more. Okay, once we got enough items, obviously we can always come back and sort that out. I'm not going that way to do the main story. So I want to see if I can talk to other people first. And then we'll finish it, and in the next video we're going to talk to everybody else. Let's go down here, see what we can talk to. So you can buy and sell items here. Who's up here?
I don't see why we need to build siege equipment. We're not laying siege to anything.
Construction orders. As you know from the terrible accidents of last week, many passages through the mountain are unstable and liable to collapse at any moment. I do not wish us to lose more brothers and sisters in the search for lost cultist treasure. We must seal all entrances into the mountain. The Templars have done a careful sweep of the caves. Everything of worth is collected. What remains of the disciples of Andraste will be forgotten, buried in the earth. Once it is done, let us have no more talk of them. This is a new haven, restored to life by the true Chantry and most holy Justinia IV. No, 5th. V is 5, isn't it? So it's... Oh yeah, I can jump. Before I got stuck for a second. Take that. I don't think there's anybody for us to talk to, is there? I may find loot and lore. There's nobody around here, is there? Oh, there's somebody here. Cigarette.
Ah, you're awake and out of Lady Cassandra's clutches. And here I paid that little knife-ear to inform me the moment you were free. No matter, no matter. Sigrid, honored to meet you. Thank you for all you've done, and hopefully will still do.
What do you think I'll be doing exactly?
Word's already spreading that if anyone could close that blighted thing in the sky, it's you. Anything you need is yours. For a reasonable price, of course.
No, that's absolutely fine, mate.
Tight, given circumstances.
Investigate.
What kind of person stays to run a shop at a time like this?
The kind with nowhere else to go. Those blasted demons destroyed most of my goods. If I stay here, work some contacts, I can start rebuilding. Maybe, just maybe, help you folks out in the process.
You must speak with most everyone here. How are people doing?
Hope and fear in equal measure. No one really knows what it means when an Inquisition is called. Yet. I imagine it's no better for you. You've got my sympathies, for what it's worth.
Until later.
Stay safe.
I'm not gonna... I don't need to buy anything just yet. But we can always go and have a look later on. Can we go for out here? Yeah, we can go out there. Okay, we'll go and have a look out there in a minute.
I spoke with Commander Cullen.
Anybody else around here we can speak to?
It's nothing. Now it's happening. Can you tell me everything?
No one to talk to there. Anybody in one of these? Let me go to the stables.
If the Inquisition wants to field a decent cavalry, it needs better horses. I heard Seeker Pentecost might try to acquire suitable mounts from Master Dennis.
Oh, the blacksmiths.
Oh.
Move!
You to be fishing around for
Oh, he's trapped me.
Expected you'd be by. I'm Harriet, and everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
Quite well.
Sturdy and warm. It's perfect.
Good. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostates, whatever this world throws at you. So, you need custom work, something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
Okay.
How did you come to be here?
Come from a little town called Lothering. Long gone now. I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the Blight. Helped rebuild. Left when royalty decided it was time to hand the place over to the bloody mages. Ended up here. Just missed the boom. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
Whichever you are, I hope the streak is broken.
A man can dream.
I don't want to say... Yeah, we'll do the investigation first and then we'll ask those other questions.
Who outfits the Inquisition soldiers?
Not me. I've got work to do. Can't be passing a sword to every blighter who signs up. If you want to help the troops, talk to Thren, the quartermaster. She'll set up requisitions.
Does the Inquisition not have supplies to make armor or weapons?
Tough convincing traders to haul up here. Impossible to get them to risk the rare stuff, so that's on you.
Okay then.
What can you and your team make here?
Arms and armor. We work iron to blighted dragon bone if you've got it. Our designs are simple, but they get the job done. You want something fancy, bring your own design. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, cool.
Can you help improve my arms and armor?
Yes. You find a new piece, a pauldron or greaves, we'll take care of you. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here, we'll make sure it's done right and proper.
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk. You'll need materials. We should have what you want just outside.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Right.
Move. No, I don't talk. Move! Oh, finally you moved. Play me neck. Actually stuck. Take all them. Didn't want to kill him. Might not that I can. Oh look, there's an animal. Piggy! Is there anybody down here? There's nobody up here. I don't think there's anyone down here either, is there? You never know. We might find somebody. I think there might be somebody at the gate up here. There's the bridge. There's no one on the bridge. Yeah, there's nobody on the bridge. We can go and explore in the next video, maybe, depending on what they talk to us about in the haven when we get to the chantry. Right now, this video I'm going to finish in a bit, but I just want to speak to the last character. I know there's at least one more person for us to talk to. There's nobody on there's nobody at the harbour, so there's no point in going down there. Weird pig-like creature. Don't know what that is. Alright. They're all training. These are all training. Training. No one to talk to. Oh, here we are.
See reason, Lissette.
Yes?
We cannot stay here.
I'd like your take on the Templar Order.
It's a shadow of what it was. where once we both protected all people from the dangers of magic, we now posture and grab at power. One day, I hope the circles are again sanctuaries where mages can practice their craft.
You're not going to rejoin the Order?
When the temple went up, your forces rescued those few of us still alive. My life is a debt I intend to repay, however I can.
Do you have any idea what caused the explosion?
No, I'm just a recruit. Belief and faith doesn't get you closer to the important meetings. Though that distance did save my life.
I will talk to you later.
Walk in the Maker's grace.
Yeah, there's nobody else we can talk to. Apart from actually in the main building, which we're gonna go. We're gonna go there in the next video. I'm gonna finish this one here. Everybody's training well, good. Oh, hang on. There's somebody down here to talk to. Put one of these. No. I'll take the off route. Right, I'll finish this one here, guys. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, take care.